Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Have You Nerd About It. I'm Darko, aka Serb, along with Jeff, the Ghost Pepper, and Josh from Josh Tendo TV. And folks, today we have another spicy topic list. We're going to be talking about Pokimane and Disguised Toast getting banned on Twitch for watching anime. Is Twitch facing another giant DMCA wave? Then we're going to be jumping into the hottest releases of 2022, both in movies, gaming, and TV shows. And we're going to be hitting upon the huge bombshell deal of Take-Two buying Zynga. All this and much more on today's podcast. Boys, we back for episode 2.
Tits!
Tits! The tits make a return from last time.
Yeah. I mean, they're huge. I mean, you can't just get rid of them.
I mean, true. I mean, they're in your face. You kind of have to deal with it at that point.
Well, hell yeah. I mean, that's also because I founded my new company that is based off of Zynga, but it's called Bazingas.
Bazingas.
Yes, they're called Bazingas. And we're releasing our very new video game called Penis Pushers. It's kind of like Whack-A-Mole, except you're smashing penises and you're trying to become the big dick.
Exactly. You know, Take-Two, Epic Games, whoever. If you hear this podcast, listen, we have an up-and-coming gaming startup you guys don't want to miss out on.
Hell yeah, it's worth like at least 69 million.
Oh, hell yeah, at least. That would be a very nice deal.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, I'm excited. We're back for episode 2, and like I said in the intro, we got some cool topics this week, so I'm excited to dive into all this that we have on our topic list.
Let's do it. Let's jump right in and get nice and dirty with it.
Nice and dirty. All right.
Ooh.
Well, do you guys want to? Let's see. What do we want to start off with first?
I think we should.
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Oh, I was thinking, we could start off with just something really simple right now. Sony continuing the PS4 production right now.
Yeah. You texted me about that earlier today. Yeah, since, the PS5s are really difficult to get a hold of. Like, every time I see, a tweet or, an article saying, Best Buy has them in stock, Walmart has them in stock, and, 5 minutes later, and they're gone. It's like the South Park meme.
Yeah.
I guess I'm confused. Isn't the shortage dealing with the metals they use to make, the processors and the graphics chips?
That's what they want you to think.
So they're going to make more PS4s.
Yeah,
to make less PS5s.
Yeah, the PS5s does require different material for the higher bandwidth memory and all the GPUs that it has. So and the PS4 uses more easier to acquire parts and just older tech, so it's easier and cheaper to get. So that's why I think they're ramping up those PS4 productions to kind of keep people happy until they can figure out this whole PS5 mess and just kind of GPU shortage in general.
It's also probably because Sony has a million different parts for the PS4. So they're like, you know what? We got all these in our warehouse. Let's just go ahead and get them used so we can, get something out there instead of pissing off our consumer base. But, I've actually got a quick fix for the PS5 shortage. You want to hear it?
All right.
All right. You ready for this? Stop selling them online. Just sell them in a freaking store. Simple.
Yeah, that's probably true. Stop so many scalpers. Makes it hard for scalpers.
I mean, that means scalpers would actually have to get off their fat asses and actually go to a store.
Well, and most stores limit it to one per customer, so it'd be harder for them. I mean, there's still ways, having buddies and friends coming and stuff like that, but overall, you'd see a huge reduction in scalping.
Yeah, obviously you're not going to stop it 100%. There's always going to be those people, but you know what? I could care less about it if it would just stop the online, store production part of it. I was very close in getting a Halo Edition Xbox One X.
Oh, I would kill for that.
Xbox One
I
X,
want one of those so bad.
Whatever the hell it was, the new
Series
Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox
Series X.
Yeah.
I've lost track. But yeah, I was so close. It was in my cart, checking out, put in all my information, click the checkout now button, boom, told me sold out. Really?
Those controllers are going for $250 a piece.
Oh, dude, it's insane.
Yeah, that's what. Especially online, a lot of the times you're not even competing against actual humans. It's just the bots buying everything up.
Yeah, what's up with that? That's another big thing too. You can't really stop those. Doesn't matter how many captchas you actually have. till you get like, what is it, Face ID captcha?
Yeah, and like I've seen like Target and Best Buy have like commented on like on the bots and trying to like make it harder for him, but it's still like that shit sells out so quick. I mean, anything that's online is just gonna get sold out instantly with with all those bots.
Yeah, I mean it's really just a luck of the draw. It's like almost like we have to, outbot the bots.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why like I really agree with the more like in-store pickups for those items, because I know like 2 months ago, Nvidia did a drop of their like Founders Edition like 1070s and 1080s, and they were doing it like in-store only at Best Buy. You had to like show up in the morning, get like one of those paper slips to reserve yours, and like that was a really solid way to like get around those scalping assholes.
Yeah, I mean it's a smart move to make. This is literally the worst gaming generation I have ever dealt with. I mean, the 360 at first was bad, PS3 and Wii was bad, but it is not like what it is today. It is just insane. Like, at least within, like, what, 5 months, the 360, PS3, and Wii were all available in stores. You could find them everywhere. But now it's just like, whoa, you can't find a PS5 anywhere. You can't find an Xbox One X. Xbox.
The Wii was over a year before.
The Wii was a year. I guess I didn't really feel like
forever.
Okay, I guess I really didn't feel that because I was lucky to find one at Game Crazy one day. That's right. I just went back to the old days of Game Crazy, Hollywood Video. Yeah, I do apologize for also keep messing up on which Xbox it is. Xbox Series X.
I mean, Microsoft's naming isn't helping, so I don't blame you.
Really not. Like Xbox One. I'm like, you mean Xbox Original? No, I mean, yeah, I can find Xbox Series S's in store. I mean, at least that makes me happy. Anytime I go to a store these days, I'm like, hey, look, it's an Xbox Series S. It makes me smile.
Didn't they? Maybe this is wrong. Did they not just announce the Series S with a disk drive now?
Not to my knowledge. That would be news.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this.
That would be huge news, and I think it would be probably more of an external drive versus an internal drive.
No, it's from the picture I saw, it was internal, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing any news articles about it, so it might have been just a photoshopped image.
Yeah, probably. I think that's what it is. Yeah,
I think Microsoft could solve this whole issue though, and just make an external Blu-ray drive for the S, and we'd be good to go. I mean, sure, it's a little less powerful, but it could get people wanting to buy an Xbox instead of waiting just for the Series X.
Yeah, I mean, the Model S is like a really good value.
It really absolutely is. It's still a good console,
and it's great for emulation.
Mm-hmm.
We won't go into that a little deeper though. Actually, side story right now. Did you hear about the PS3 emulator that's available?
No.
This is really cool. So I think it was MVG talking about this on YouTube. He does all sorts of cool emulation videos. Let me go ahead and make sure that I get his name right. But yeah, he was talking about a PS3 emulator. And the cool thing is that it actually has the PS3 menu versus like all the other emulators out there where you just load the game and you're just in the game. This you're actually in the PS3 dashboard, which I think is amazing.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. So that's pretty sweet.
Speaking of, I'm sorry, I'm going to kind of change topics a little bit, but okay, kind of reverse emulation, but not really. Have you seen, because this is something I wanted to do a long time ago, but I just didn't know how to do it, was like hacking Pokemon games. I wanted to hack Red and Blue onto the original Nintendo, but someone has gone and hacked Pokemon Green and Crystal and made them onto the Nintendo 64.
Nice.
Physical carts and all. And I'm like, now that's badass.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was right. MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I see the link.
Thank goodness. Yeah, RPC S3 PlayStation emulation. Friggin' awesome. Does require a very powerful system though. but I mean, it has some games running. I've seen like Resistance run on it and Ratchet and Clank. But yeah, if you want like the optimal performance, you literally have to have a really super beefy computer.
Yeah,
it's
really impressive actually. Considering like I know like the PS3's architecture was like notoriously painful to deal with. Like every dev complained about it. So to get that over like running on a PC as an emulator, that's actually really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, when I saw the Xbox 360 emulated, I was like, dude, finally, this is awesome.
Well, it's funny these guys that make these emulators and these ROM hacks. It's like they can be so much better and quicker and have less issues than like major development developers in gaming. It's like
we're looking at you,
$150 million on this game and it barely plays. Where it's like one guy sitting at a computer like reprograms the whole game, makes it work flawlessly like a week later, and it's like, what was the holdup, guys?
Right. I'm still looking at Nintendo for that awful expansion pack. The Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack for like war games. The emulation is awful. I don't know if it's got.
I haven't touched it yet.
I'm not going to touch it for a while, unless GoldenEye releases, and I'm like, hell yeah. But then again, if GoldenEye does release, I'm really hoping that it is a physical copy because I want to hold it, I want to hug it, I want to cuddle it.
Well, I bet limited run games or super rare games or one of those guys, Castlevania games, if it ever gets released digitally, will make a physical copy of it.
Dear God, not. Limited run games, I know they're good at heart. They got a great passion for that, but that's the fact that I hate it because they don't put a limit on how many copies somebody can actually buy. And I know that anything with the title of GoldenEye, it's going to sell out immediately. It's going to be just Night Trap.
It depends on the thing because it depends on how they do it. Because sometimes they do it where it's like, we only have 5,000. You can only order 2 or like 3. And they will put a limit on it. Now, sometimes they say, we're just going to open up pre-orders. And however many pre-orders we sell between these dates and these dates, we'll make. So then you can order an unlimited amount if you wanted to. Which they're doing a lot more of that now than they used to. It used to be like, we're releasing 5,000 copies. And now they're saying, okay, we'll open up pre-orders. And if we make 20,000 pre-orders, we'll make 20,000 copies of the game. Doesn't matter how many you order. So they have changed that a little bit.
I actually didn't know that. So thank you for lightening me on that.
Yeah, because they have changed their model a little bit. So, and it just depends on the game and like the edition. Like I think the collector's editions, they still say we're only going to release 5,000. And I think they limit it so you can only buy, it's either 2 or a case, whatever their case size is. So they might say, we're doing a case of 6. So like a game store could buy it to have it in their game store. But that's it. So maybe it's changed even since last time I looked, but.
I could definitely imagine that they'd probably make a collector's edition like they did for Ukulele, where it looks like an N64 box with the actual like case and everything, or the cartridge, I should say.
I'd be way more surprised if they didn't do that. Like that would be right. If they don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with like Doom 64, and I also believe the Star Wars pod racing game as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just freaking awesome. As long as I can at least get a hold of even just a normalized copy. I don't care about the collector's edition personally, but if I could get my hands on it, I'll be like, fine, cool, let's do it. I'm going to be afraid on the price, probably like $150, $200. It's GoldenEye for crying out loud. You got to pay for that licensing.
Yep. And they're going to cash in on that nostalgia as well. So, they're going to jack up the price a bit.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be crazy. But good times, though. Couch co-op, everybody.
The old school couch co-op. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a shame games don't really include, like, split screen and that kind of stuff anymore. I mean, I kind of get it from, like, a technical standpoint. Like, games are so intense now and so demanding you can't really do it, but still.
I mean, look at like games like Perfect Dark when they added in, counter operative mode, where one player is playing as Joanna Dark and the other player is playing as like one of the NPCs, and they're trying to like kill Joanna Dark to stop her mission and everything. How come we have not
about that? That was sick. I totally forgot about that.
So good.
Perfect Dark. Okay, I'm gonna unpopular opinion. Perfect Dark was the better version of GoldenEye.
It honestly was. The multiplayer options were way better. But then again, multiplayer for GoldenEye was last minute. So it didn't have very much time. I think it was like programmed in like what 2 weeks,
I have no idea.
something like that. At least it was very last minute. They didn't have much time until they finally shipped. But Perfect Dark, that's when Rare had so much time to work on the game, added in so many amazing features. I mean, that 480i graphics setting that required, of course, the expansion pack along with being able to play the single player game in general. But bots, like who doesn't love bots? I miss those days.
Just gotta set up your laptop gun all over the place.
Exactly. Darko, do you remember that?
Yeah, like I haven't, like I've seen only like videos and like pictures of it, but yeah.
Hell yeah. I miss those days.
Who is ready for Pokemon Arceus, if I'm saying that right?
I'm excited. It's an open world Pokemon game. Endless possibilities right there. I mean, who doesn't want that?
I think it's gonna break. I mean, Pokemon always breaks records. I think this is gonna break all the Pokemon records. I think it's gonna destroy it.
I definitely agree. But then there's also that part of me that kind of thinks, what if this one bombs? What if people are like disgusted with it? They're like, man, this is not what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I'm worried how big the overworld will be. But I mean, I'm sure it's, I don't know. Sword and Shield's a pretty big overworld, So
Yeah.
we'll see. But
And
yeah,
even Sword and Shield was kind of hit and miss with people.
well, a lot of people hated it because it didn't have all 1,000 Pokemon in it, or however many there are. I don't even know at this point. So that was like the only complaint I really heard were people like, you're only putting 492 in to begin with, and then they did the expansion packs, and each one of those added like 100 each, so it's like 700 total in the game. So I think people love the game and the gameplay and everything about it. They just hate the fact that it's like we're still missing 200 or 300 Pokemon that are not in the game.
I mean, it's a lot of work to add in a bunch of pocket monsters.
Well, someone hacked it and found that they used all the 3D sprites that they were using from the 3DS games or something. So they're like,
oh god,
you guys kind of lied because you said you had to redesign everything, but we found the code's the same. So, and then I don't remember. They came up with some other excuse after that, I think.
My guess, they probably went the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition route where they just use computer AI to generate all the models.
Nah, I mean, probably. I don't know. But honestly, Sword and Shield, I think, I don't know if it's my favorite Pokemon game or if it's my second. I really like Black and White. Too. Those ones I thought were amazing personally, which is a controversial subject, I think.
I think still my favorite one is Pokemon Blue, but that's also because that was my first Pokemon game I ever played. And I actually never played another Pokemon game until Pokemon Y.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's not because I didn't want to. It's because I was playing a bunch of other games. And, I love Pokemon. I grew up with that, obviously. I've still got cards. My freaking mint condition holographic Charizard.
Bro, you should sell that.
Yeah, honestly, if somebody offered me the right price for it, I'd sell it.
Going up in price still.
That's crazy.
Times get desperate, sell that shit. Anyway, so Pokemon Arceus is coming out later this month. I think it's the 28th. So that should be.
Yep.
Should be
January
huge.
28th. Right now on sale. Not sponsored, by the way. Right now on sale for $55 plus tax on Amazon.com.
Oh yeah, I saw a news article where they were just mentioning that. Well, I guess we're gonna find out soon enough if that game ends up being good or not.
Is it good? Is it bad? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the last game or the last Pokemon game I played was Let's Go Eevee. So, but this one definitely seems pretty interesting just because it is like super open world, and so I'm definitely excited to. As like someone who's like a super like casual fan of Pokemon, like this like seems pretty exciting. So, I'll definitely be keeping an eye.
You want to know something random here?
Yep.
So, by the time that I was going to be turning 10 years old, I thought I was actually going to go on a real Pokemon adventure. I thought, all right, I'm turning 10. I'm going to be hunting for Pokemon, everybody. I'm leaving my house, leaving all my shit, and I'm going to go on a Pokemon adventure. Yeah, it didn't really work that way.
One can dream,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, there you go, 10-year-old me. That was 20 years ago.
Just buy a dog.
True. I mean, pets are basically like Pokemon, so.
I've had enough with cats. I've only grown up with cats.
Then you take your blanket and you throw it over them, and you wrap them up in a ball.
What the hell is wrong with you?
You're not it's just playing around. It's not like saying beat them or anything. Goodness gracious.
Oh, as long as you're not beating them, you can suffocate them all you want. But as long as you're not beating them now,
it's not like you leave them in the blanket for the rest of their lives.
No, you're just coddling them. You know, you're snuggling with them. You ever heard of that? You know?
No.
Fine. Darko, I think there was a Twitch update you wanted to give us.
Yeah, I guess we can move on to the Twitch news. Like 2 things specifically. One, there might be a new DMCA wave coming, like we saw, like a year ago with the whole music wave. But now it might be related to just copyrighted TV shows and like animes and whatnot. Because just a couple of days ago, Pokimane, the biggest female streamer on Twitch, got a 48-hour ban because she watched Avatar live on stream. I guess things really did change since the Fire Nation attacked. But definitely, thank you. I'm very proud of that joke. But yeah, basically, it's no surprise, or no one's, I guess, really surprised that streamers are watching lots of copyrighted content on Twitch, and not just music. Like, a lot of people will watch like full-on TV shows, and like, I mean, I enjoy that type of content. Like, there are a couple of streamers I watch that will like play full-on seasons of like MasterChef or some other like random show off of like TLC, and like watching those shows like with the streamer and like Twitch chat is really fun. But a lot of them are dancing with the devil, kind of with that copyrighted content, because I mean, no one really has the rights to stream that stuff, so you always run the risk of getting hit. And then Pokimane was like the high-profile case for that, and then followed by Disguised Toast, another big streamer. He ended up watching, I believe, Demon Slayer or Demon Hunter on stream, and then he got hit with the DMCA. But basically, it really boils down to streamers are just kind of taking the risk with playing this copyrighted content, just like they did with music. And it looks like the companies behind these TV shows and animes are starting to take notice of Twitch, just like the record labels. So, well, I don't know. We might start seeing more of these like ban waves coming. It really depends how far streamers are willing to push it.
It's like 48 hours is really not all that much. I mean, it's not like you're hurting her career right there. You're actually making her career even better, because you got people that are like really wanting to fight for her to get unbanned and stuff like that. But 48 hours, when I think of a ban, I think of like permanently. Not just like a slap on the wrist saying, 48 hours, you're in jail right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, like, that's always a big, like, point of contention. Like, oh, the big partner streamers, they get these, like, small bans, like 48 hours or, like, a week. But, like, a smaller streamer or an affiliate will get hit with, like, a month or maybe even a permaban, depending on, like, who files the DMCA. But, yeah, I mean, this is, like, a risk that everyone knew since the beginning of, playing copyrighted content. Is just... Twitch was like a small site for so many years, and then like now like a lot of people know who Twitch is, like what Twitch is, and so like the companies behind this content are starting to take notice on like what we're doing on the website. So it's definitely going to be a bit more dicey with like what you play on stream, but I feel like as long as you, I guess, follow like the YouTube formula and just stay away from copyrighted content, you should be fine. But obviously people will try to push the rules and still stream that stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. And in all honesty, I think that if you're this huge on Twitch, you can't really think that you're like immortal. Like honestly, have some common sense. If that is not your property, then what makes you think that you can go ahead and broadcast that and everything? I mean, music is one thing, but when you're starting to broadcast like TV shows and everything, you're not contracted to do that. You don't have a license to be able to put that up on there. And in all honesty, it's just like, yeah, common sense. You should know better. You shouldn't do that. I mean, unless it's like a part of the whole Amazon watch party system where it's like, hey, Amazon has these licenses out for people to enjoy over watch parties.
Exactly, yeah. And like I'm sure like Twitch they saw like how popular it is to like have these communities watch certain shows and like or like YouTube videos together. So they were like, okay, let's, introduce watch parties. And like and that works, and it's definitely a legal way to, host this kind of content on Twitch. But yeah, people are still gonna try and like push their luck. But I just have a feeling like the companies behind like these animes and these TV shows will start paying attention to Twitch a lot more, just like the music labels did. So, but people are gonna do what they want to do on their channels, I guess.
I'll throw out one other thing here. These companies should be honored that these bigger streamers or even smaller streamers out there want to share their experiences with this content, because now they're just spreading the word even further. It's free advertising.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially like the relationship content creators have with like game devs. Like, it's a win-win situation for everyone. The content creator has, stuff to make videos from, and then it's free advertisement for the game studios. And so that relationship has been like super successful, over like the last decade, even more now. But Hollywood and like the music industry, they're like super behind like the games industry when it comes to these kinds of relationships. And so when they see their content broadcasted without licenses, they get their panties in a twist and just file DMCAs everywhere. So, but who knows, maybe over the years things will change like we have seen like in the games industry. But I don't know, there's just a lot of old farts in Hollywood and the music industry who don't see it that way, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm not condoning, anything like that. I'm not on any side on this and everything. I'm not, just thought I'd throw it out there. Be licensed, be fully licensed before you start broadcasting certain things, or have permission to be able to broadcast, anything over Twitch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, people will do what they want on their channels. If you want to kind of skirt that line, then good luck. But, I'm definitely staying away from, I've always stayed away from copyrighted content, just because before I jumped to Twitch, I was on YouTube making videos. So I knew the dangers of copyrighted content. So that's why I kind of always kept it clean on Twitch when it came to that stuff. But I guess people who are more native to Twitch and only were on that platform, they kind of more loose with these copyright rules, because Twitch didn't really have to enforce them because no one knew what Twitch was. But now there's way more eyeballs on the website, so people just have to be careful with this content now.
Oh, absolutely. Back in the days of Justin TV.
Oh yeah, God, there was so much random shit on Justin TV.
Like a lot of video cameras hunkered over yours. DRTs, those are the days.
Yeah, man. I remember like watching like full on movies on like Justin TV, or like soccer games and whatnot. People are just broadcasting whatever. I mean, you can still find some of that stuff on Twitch today if you dig deep enough in like just chatting in some other random categories. But yeah, but if you're a high profile streamer, you definitely need to be careful with what you broadcast.
Remember, you are the ones the smaller people are wanting to idolize. Be smart, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I like watch parties. They're super fun, but yeah, you definitely should only stream what you have the right to. But I guess YouTube videos, like streaming YouTube videos and watching those together would be fine. But yeah, if you're streaming Avatar or Demon Hunter or whatever, then yeah, you're definitely getting close to that danger zone.
No, Darko, you better have, proper permission from me before you start broadcasting my videos. My licensing fee is really, really cheap and everything. Just give me a bag of peanuts.
Sold.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, and give me head rubs.
Yeah. Still, solid deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peanuts and head rubs. But yeah, the other big Twitch news is Twitch's head of trust and safety sent out an email saying that they're committed to basically just kind of keeping Twitch safe from like hate raids and other more malicious activity, like people who avoid bans, that kind of stuff. And then in typical Twitch fashion, they didn't really go into much detail. The email was pretty vague, but at the same time, when it comes to like, you know, creating technology around blocking malicious users and just bots in general, you can't give out too much information because then you give people an idea how to circumvent your systems. But I mean, at least that's good to hear something from Twitch about just kind of keeping the site clean and safe from malicious users or just like people who try to view bot their numbers and whatnot. So that was at least a nice surprise that we got in our emails this morning.
Yeah. Who here has been a victim of being view botted and also have gotten, you know, not really hate rated, but you know, they got raided by the Haas crew and those other dumbasses, or even just had somebody come in to their channel and just like, seriously, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, like the only experience that I had with bots was like years ago. I just got follow botted one night. I had like 50 fake followers just hit me all at once. But that was the only experience I had with that. And then like a couple of weeks later, Twitch just purged all those fake accounts.
Finally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They do definitely like those purges like every few months because like I know there's always like a big like uproar on Twitter. It's like, oh, XQC or another big streamer just lost like 100,000 followers, but they're all just bot accounts, so like it doesn't matter.
You're right. All right, I got some unpopular opinion that I have to bring up with you guys.
Ooh, spicy topic. Let's go.
All right, now everybody here has a smartphone, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just need to check. You have a smartphone?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, perfect. Diablo Immortal. All right, catch my drift on this one?
Best future game to ever be made. Yeah.
Diablo Immortal.
Blizzard told me so, okay? They don't lie.
Diablo Immortal has a never before seen class. Isn't that amazing? Got a never before seen class in Diablo game.
Oh shit! Groundbreaking.
I'm
called couch cushion.
It's called the Blood Knight.
Just sucks everything into it.
I'm not one of those kinds of people now, bud. It's called the Blood Knight. People, of course, decrypted a lot of the game files on the Chinese beta, and they found like 12 spell descriptions which describe the abilities for an unannounced class. In addition to spell descriptions, Wowhead also discovered an incomplete male character model as well as a sword that referenced the Blood Knight during the game's closed beta. The files also contain what looks to be a potential class crest icon for the Blood Knight. I don't know, like I'm pretty excited to be able to see what a Blood Knight does. Like it sounds like an interesting class, even just from like that little bit of information right there. I mean, I'd like to see it.
Yeah,
and,
it definitely sounds cool. And I'm also curious, like, to see if they're gonna like implement or have this in the upcoming like main Diablo game.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool, like Diablo 4, and maybe they'll surprise us and release new content for Diablo 3. I doubt it, but
yeah, probably won't see anything with Diablo 3, but I can definitely see them like. I know they might even like try to use Diablo Immortal to like maybe tease like content that might be in Diablo 4 like through like this new class that we saw in this leak now, but who knows? Or they might just say, F the mobile game, we'll kind of keep it separate. So who knows?
Who knows? I can definitely imagine Activision Blizzard probably throwing in NFTs in Diablo Immortal though. Just because it's a mobile game and it creates extra money and revenue, but let's not give them ideas now. But honestly, per objective opinion about Diablo Immortal, I'm honestly wanting to see what this mobile game is going to be like. I mean, sure, it's not what everybody wanted. It's not what everybody expected. They wanted Diablo 4 They want more content and people working on Diablo 4. But I can only imagine that there's probably a very small team of people actually working on Diablo Immortal. It's probably not a big team. Let's just say 5 to 10 people maybe working on Immortal versus like the hundreds of people they're going to have working on Diablo 4. And then, of course, the thousands of employees that they have for working on World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Diablo Immortal is definitely going to be like a side thing for them, even though like mobile gaming does have, is very profitable, and I'm sure they're going to like try to push it. And the thing with this version of Diablo is like it probably is fine. Like from all the gameplay that I've seen, like the screenshot, like it looks like a fun game, like a very simple Diablo experience on your phone. Cool. The problem is like the way they presented this game to like everyone. Like everyone wanted Diablo 4, and they're like, y'all have a phone, right? Check out this game. But no one was like, we're not here for that. If they like announced Diablo Immortal initially, like just kind of on the side along like with their main content, like sure, people will be like, cool mobile game, don't care. Some will care. But I think as a game, when it eventually comes out, it'll be fine. But like this is not like what people are waiting for, though.
Yeah, and it's like when Apple announced Final Cut Pro 10. They announced it and marketed it like an iPad. They did. This is a professional market that they're trying to market it to, but yet they're actually presenting it more on a consumer level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with this, it was just the way it was presented. I mean, like mobile gaming has definitely been getting really good over the last couple of years. I mean, you have like COD Mobile, PUBG Mobile, super fun games. There's like a lot of other like mobile games, and I'm sure Diablo Immortal will be a fun one as well. But they definitely need to kind of like keep it its own thing and not try to like shove it into the main fan base's kind of view of like the franchise. Like, hey, check out this game, ignore Diablo 4, but check out this sweet mobile game, microtransactions, blah blah blah. Just keep it separate. I'm sure the game will do fine in the mobile market, but give the fans what they actually want, which is Diablo 4.
Exactly. And a lot of people need to realize too, mobile games are time wasters, and that's what we play mobile games for.
Mm-hmm.
Or cell phone games or smartphone games. They're time wasters, like, hey, I've got 15 minutes to kill. Let's just go ahead and boot up, a mobile game that I have on my phone. No big deal. They're not meant to be super serious games. Mobile games have never been serious. Mobile games like say on like the Switch, those are serious games. Those are things you are going to be playing on the go, wherever you want. But unlike a Switch, it doesn't fit in your pocket. Your phone is in your pocket everywhere you go. Switch can be in your backpack, sure. But say you don't want to carry a backpack. Maybe I don't want to carry the Switch try and put it in my pocket. Phone's going to be there. So I think Diablo Immortal is going to be a fun time waster.
Yeah, definitely.
Thoughts on that, Jeff? Are you a Diablo fan?
I played a little Diablo 2 back in the day. I think it's cool. I'm down for it. I think people's overreaction back in the day was ridiculous. I get they wanted Diablo 4, but it's like, if you love Diablo, why wouldn't you love a phone version? You didn't hear this much backlash when they came out with like Mario Run or Mario Kart on the phone. People were like, what? Where's Mario Kart 9? It was like, sweet, I can play Mario Kart on my phone now. But people with Diablo is like, what the hell? Where's Diablo 4? It's like, bro, we're bringing you Diablo even more. You're going to get it all the time. So I have no complaints. I think it's a great idea. I'll play it for sure. I don't know how much because I couldn't get that much into Diablo 3 because Necromancer was my man. They didn't introduce that till way later, so that pissed me off.
And the Necromancer in Diablo 3 definitely doesn't act like the one in Diablo 2.
No, Diablo 2 Necromancer was the shit. That was what I played. I loved it. So,
but I also think it's probably because the fans of Blizzard games probably have this like super over the top expectation from Blizzard where it's just like, really, you're supposed to be creating some of the best games ever, which I mean, people's backlash even on Diablo 3 was pretty huge.
Okay, I'm gonna throw something out there because I recently have been going through a lot of my gaming stuff, and me and my friend were looking at some of my stuff I have, And I don't know why. For the life of me, nobody does this. Sony, back in the day, came out with the Xperia Play phone, which was a PSP Go, but a phone. And it slid out and it had a controller on it and everything. Why aren't anyone else doing this? Because I think that would just blow up like nobody's business. Imagine playing Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, like Call of Duty, you know, Diablo with an actual slide out controller that works extremely well. No, why? Like seriously, what? I can't understand it for the life of me. One of the best ideas ever made, and for some reason it didn't. It was a flop.
The Xperia was an awesome phone, and I really wish I actually would have gotten one. At first, it was exclusive to Verizon only, and then it eventually came to AT&T. But yeah, as you said, it was revolutionary. It was literally a PSP, but a phone, slide out keyboard and everything. Well, not slide out keyboard, slide out gamepad. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
I still have mine. I put it next to my normal phone. It fits in my pocket just as well. Plays awesomely. Still works great. I'm just like, why does anyone do this? And I was just thinking while you're talking about this Diablo Immortals thing, what if they just put World of Warcraft on a phone and slide out keyboard, like 10 key or whatever you need, just the buttons you need with a little joystick for World of Warcraft. Your 12 buttons you're going to use for your spells.
you're going to sell millions. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's going to be unstoppable. Sorry.
Think about.
You're welcome, Blizzard. You can pay me in advance.
I mean, think about if Nintendo decided to make a phone.
They should. They're so stupid. They're so stupid. They should say, you know what? We have our Switch model, and instead of doing 3DSs, handhelds, we're doing a phone. And that phone has a slide out like the freaking PSP phone or flips open or something. I mean, it just makes me so mad that they haven't done something like that because they're also missing out on billions of dollars.
I think, honestly, the flip part of it would actually be the better seller than the slide out.
I mean, either way, I think it's fine, but I don't even care. I would do either. But imagine if Nintendo was smart, they release a Nintendo phone, they put all of their old games on it. Original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, N64, GameCube, Wii games, or whatever, all on this phone. Obviously, they don't have licensing to all of them, but they put them on at $3-5 a piece. Yeah,
I mean, just
think about hand over fist gonna make billions of dollars.
I mean, think about it like a monthly subscription plan, like basically Nintendo Online, but for a phone.
Yeah, make that part of your online subscription. Their new $50 bundle or whatever. You put that on there and say, hey, now you have access to all these same games that you have, plus some. Boom.
Nintendo Game Pass.
I'm sorry. It's just like this idea has been around forever, like what, a decade at least now, and still nobody's like executing on it. It's like, especially with the way gaming has been taking off in the last 10 years and the way mobile gaming has taken off in the last 10 years. Because they tried that very, very early on in the smartphone era, and people weren't ready for it because it was parents buying phones for kids. And they're like, I'm not spending $800-900 on a gaming phone for you. We don't want you video gaming. Now those kids are grown up. They're still gaming. And now we need that phone more than ever. I'm sorry. That's my rant. I will shush now.
Yeah, I agree. That was definitely a cool phone that came out way too early. It was ahead of its time. Like, the only company now that's kind of making a gaming phone is Asus. They have, like, their ROG gaming phones. And those are actually really cool. Like, one, like the specs are nuts. Like the fastest like Snapdragon processor, like crazy high refresh screens, high resolution screens. And like the phone itself like has shoulder buttons, fully programmable buttons on the side. Like it's a full-on gaming phone that you have like complete control over. And like they're the only company that kind of even dabbles in like the gaming niche with smartphones. But yeah, I definitely would like to kind of see more companies kind of explore that.
By the way, that heatsink that is in one of those phones is pretty interesting. I love the tech.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
wild how like they designed those phones. They even like add like some of the more higher end models have like the RGB backs and like it's full on like it's an ROG device. Like you can tell from a mile away.
Yeah, and if anybody is familiar with the YouTube channel Jerry Rig Everything, he's torn apart a few of those phones, and just seriously, the technology that's behind it is just so fascinating.
Yeah, it's wild what they do with those phones. I'm glad because they're super interesting to look at. So hopefully, more companies kind of dabble with that. You know, maybe Nintendo they could make a little Switch Mini that's a phone essentially.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just imagine adding Joy-Cons to your phone. I'm sorry, I'm just making billions of dollars over here.
You could sell more Joy-Cons that way.
True.
Like,
hopefully without the Joy-Con drift, but
seriously, you could just mount Joy-Cons to any phone. Pretty much, you make a USB-C adapter that you can just slide Joy-Cons onto. It's a little frame. You put it around the phone. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, like they already sell like those controllers that are like you slap onto your iPhone or your yeah. Like most
Have you
of
ever
them
played them? Because they only work with certain games. It's like compatible with games you'll never play.
Yeah, that's true. There's actually one that I saw. I can't remember the name of the company for the life of me, but like it's more like universal compatibility because it just works through Bluetooth like you would like if you connected an Xbox controller to your Android, it works the same way. But it's definitely
that's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too big.
Mm-hmm.
They're too bulky. If I could just slide some Joy-Cons onto my phone, that would be unbelievably amazing, and it would be so revolutionary.
Even more revolutionary right here. A Joy-Con case, but it has an external battery inside, so you're not only making it where you can charge Joy-Cons, but you're also giving more life to your freaking Switch phone.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just
bam. Interchangeable battery too. Got to be able to replace that damn battery.
And if it's Nintendo, it's gonna sell. Doesn't even matter if it's well made. It will sell. People will buy it. But Nintendo makes fantastic product. I mean, their product, hands down, lasts longer than any other gaming product out there. I know there's Joy-Con drift and stuff, but those Nintendo Switches will work for the next 250 years.
Oh yeah, N64 is still working.
Yeah, original Nintendos still work. Super Nintendo still work like perfectly. Like very low failure rate compared to like what Nintendo or Xbox and PlayStation throw out there.
Yeah, I've got a dead disk drive on one of my OG Xboxes.
Yeah,
the very common. I put that in the box, kept it, stored away, and then the day that I wanted to play it, put a game in, boom, wasn't reading. I was like, the hell.
Okay, talking about Xbox disk drives. If you do any type of tech repair, you have to know what a pain in the ass it is to deal with Xbox 360, maybe original Xbox, Xbox One. I'm sure Xbox Series X the same way. If you don't know this, is the weirdest practice I've ever heard of. Their disk drive has a serial number to it, okay? And that serial number is linked to the motherboard of the Xbox. So if you have a disk drive go bad on your Xbox, nope, you don't just find a working one. You don't buy a working one, replace it. You have to wipe the serial number off the new one, figure out what the serial number is for the old one that's linked to the hard drive or to the motherboard, and then put it in. And you have to have certain tools and special hookups to even do something like that. It is just asinine.
That is, that is insane. Like, why would you even go through like all that trouble to like make all that proprietary like that?
Darko, just so you know, on that new computer you built, your hard drive is only capable of working on your computer.
It's true.
Yeah. Too bad. If you ever want to build a new computer, you gotta buy a new hard drive because
that
one is serially linked to your motherboard. It'll never work on another motherboard.
Isn't that due to him buying an OEM version of Windows?
No, I'm just messing, saying how stupid that is.
Oh, never mind.
That's the comparison. It's like any part you buy, once you install it, it is forever determined to be a part of that machine.
Like you plug in a Samsung SSD, well, it's only tied to that motherboard. Good luck.
Yep.
That's so stupid.
I don't know why Xbox does that. Because I do a lot of tech repair, and I just don't even want to touch Xboxes for that reason. Because I'm just like, this is stupid. This is just a waste of my time. Sorry.
Red Ring of Death.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, we've gone way off topic here. So we're gonna have to hurry through some of this. Talking about Asus, though, I'm gonna jump in. Have you seen their new gaming laptops?
I
have not.
Yeah, I looked up like all the ones they announced at CES and like the one you noted in here.
Yeah, the 4K screen, 120 hertz laptop, almost $4,000. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, but that's an expensive beast right there.
That is like that's gonna be a chonky boy too. Like it's gonna be heavy.
I think if you add it up and build something comparable though, desktop wise, it's really not that big of a price difference.
Yeah, what I don't have the article open, but what GPU did it have? I don't know if you remember.
I don't off the top of my head, but they've released a couple other models on there, so there's going to be a wide range, and I know they have like a discount model too. But pretty cool what they're doing because they're focusing on like making 122 hertz monitors or 120 hertz monitors. They have ones that are 1080 that run at 144 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really listening to the gamers, I feel like, and saying like, hey, this is what we want on our laptops, instead of just doing like traditional, like, oh, here's a 4K screen at 60 hertz or, whatever, which was like a big problem for a long time.
Yeah.
So basically, Alienware technically does all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, just Asus like always been like the one who really like pushes like their gaming laptop line with like these crazy innovations. Like they really go for like the enthusiast kind of like audience.
So I just pulled up the specs on it. So there's going to be two different models. One's going to be an i9-12900H CPU running either RTX 3080 Ti, RTX 3080, RTX 3070 Ti, or 3060, and 64 gigs of RAM installed and 2 terabytes of solid or SSD in that machine.
Yeah, I mean that's
so their highest end one. You're getting an i9-12900 with the RTX 3080 Ti. 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM, and 2 terabyte SSD for $38.99.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to build that same computer on a desktop right now, I guarantee you're spending $3,500.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is expensive, but actually, like the pricing is actually pretty good for like what you're getting.
Yeah. So as much as I probably won't buy one, it just makes me excited to think that. Because I felt like gaming laptops, they used to make really solid ones like Alienware and like Asus, like the ROG machines were really good. And I feel like everyone got so caught up in thinness of the laptops that they just felt like the performance really dipped for a while there. And so it's kind of exciting to see like, okay, we're actually going to make like a beefy gaming laptop again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially like for people who don't have like a desktop and they want to have a beefy laptop like this that can play games anywhere. Like this is a solid one to go with.
Yeah,
like
and
if
they have
you
a lot
want
of
like the best of the best, then yeah, like this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and they have everything in between. So they have some stuff that's still going to run games fantastically because nothing's really pushing a 3080 still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting a 3060 or 3070 is going to be still a great machine. So
yeah, I mean, I admit, I mean, I run an Alienware, but that's just because it was affordable in my price range for the model that I bought. But there was actually a point where I actually thought about just replacing my desktop. This was like years and years ago, but with an Alienware laptop, because the cool thing was that you could replace the CPU, you could replace the GPU. But I mean, it wasn't too bad in price, for what I could get. Nowadays, I would definitely not do that because their models are freaking ugly as sin these days. But it's also the fact that it says Alienware, it's overpriced. You're literally just getting such weak specs. You're paying for the name. That you're not paying for the quality of it. Alienware is it's been a shell of what it once was, where it'd be a unique experience that you'd be able to purchase, and now it's just, hey, we're a name, cool, buy it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of computers, I'm going to jump to another thing here. So we talked about it almost last week. and then it just like either broke the same day and we missed it, or the next day. But AMD did come out and announce a new Ryzen processor that is gonna beat the i9 12900K processor for gaming. I can't remember what the processor was. I want to say it was a 7900 XT. Did you guys hear about this?
Sounds about right. I'm trying to.
I can't remember what the model number is.
Is gonna have 120 threads.
I don't know. I think it's this Ryzen 9 6980HX is going to be the new booth. No, that's the mobile ones. Never mind.
Nice. I mean, considering
they just announced a new desktop one that's going to smack down Intel. Like, it's funny because Intel just came out with their processors after Ryzen's beat them down for a while, and now Ryzen's like, oh, a couple months later, boom, we're already better. And then Intel turns around and says they're announcing a 12900K. It's either KF or KS1 coming soon, but that will be our highest end processor, and we're not telling you the specs yet.
Well, of course not.
So,
but yeah, these two are finally competing again, which is nice. So,
it's win-win for everybody. If anyone hates the competition, you're an idiot, because it's just making our technology better and cheaper.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then I can buy last year's model even cheaper.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, remember the days of like when ATI and NVIDIA were fighting? Like those were the days. I loved seeing ATI and NVIDIA, and even like 3DFX. That's probably even bigger actually. Is 3DFX announcing their new graphics card and showing off what they can do versus like the competition of what NVIDIA could do. And what is NVIDIA's solution? Buy 3DFX.
Smart.
But then again, I mean, 3DFX was in massive financial trouble because of their, what was it, Voodoo? Was it the Voodoo 5 that was never released?
I think so, yeah, something like that. But I mean, NVIDIA was like, hey, you guys have cool tech, we're gonna buy you, so easy win for them.
Yeah, right. It's like, well, you're in financial trouble. We'll go ahead and just buy you out. It's all good. Use your tech. But in all honesty, I really wish NVIDIA would make a special edition 3DFX graphics card. Just for the fun of it. Like, why not? Just throw the 3DFX logo on it, but it's just an NVIDIA, GPU.
Yeah. Nice little throwback.
It sounds stupid, but it would sell, just like all the rest of their damn cards.
True, especially now.
Oh, yeah. Gosh damn it.
All right. We're going to move on just because we were shorter on time. And we got a lot left to cover.
Yeah, like we're about to, I think, hit the hour mark, so we got to start flying through some of these.
All right.
So Twitter talks about the most talked about games of 2021. Yes. Have you heard this or no?
No, I haven't. I mean, I stay off Twitter like the plague.
So here's the most tweeted about games in 2021. So first one, let's start with number 10 since you haven't seen this, Josh. Number 10 is Fortnite. So Fortnite's dropping the ranks.
Fortnite, well, if this was 2018, Fortnite would be number one, but
yeah.
Fortnite.
And then there's number 9, Project Cicada, which I'm not familiar with at all. Anyone have any info on that?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
It looks like, from what I could tell, it looks like maybe it's like a different country, maybe China or Japan that's doing it. That's like going to be really big there. Maybe, I don't know, but
you mean Japan?
Yeah, Minecraft at number 8, and then a game called Knives Out.
Knives Out.
Yeah,
I've heard of that one.
I'm pretty sure that's like a mobile, like BR or something.
Okay, I hadn't heard of it. Number 6, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that one makes sense. I see a lot of Animal Crossing in my Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And
then FGO Project. Fate of the Gods or something like that.
I've never heard of it.
Picture it's not very good, I'm going to be honest. Final Fantasy overall, I think, is just the topic people are talking about. So they just list Final Fantasy as number 4.
Also, maybe Final Fantasy Online. Like, I know that one's super popular and people are always talking about it.
Yeah. I'd probably say Final Fantasy Online.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 looks like another foreign game, Ensemble Stars, and the title's in either It's in an Asian writing that I don't know. Not familiar with it. Number 2 and number 1 both surprised me personally. If you haven't looked at the list, if you guys already looked at the list.
No, number 1 doesn't surprise me personally.
Well, number 2, Apex Legends. I only know one person that still plays Apex Legends like consistently in my life. And so when I saw that's number 2, I was like, wow. I mean, it's a good game. I'm terrible at it, so I don't like playing it because I suck at it.
You play the version, it's the best.
The which version?
The Switch version.
Oh, I'm sure. And then coming in at number 1, Genshin Impact, which
surprise.
I'm surprised. I still haven't played it. I downloaded it the other day. I need to play it. But
you know, the one thing I'm really surprised about is how come Warzone's not even on this list? Like, I'm kind of shocked about that.
Yeah, Warzone. Because I mean, if you look at Twitch, like it's still in the top 5 streamed games. So I don't know. It's kind of surprised that people on the Twitter first are talking about. So,
Twitter streaming just doesn't like Call of Duty apparently.
And now we're gonna roll it. PUBG, since I brought that up a second ago, goes
PUBG?
free to play.
What?
Finally, they should have done this a long time ago, like all BRs are doing. I can't believe it took them this long to figure that out.
Funny story about PUBG though. I own 2 physical copies of it. I own one on they're both on the Xbox actually, but the first one was a digital only code, but I have a box for it. But then the second one is actually a legit physical copy. It's got a disc in there and everything. So it's pretty cool. It just comes with some like cosmetic stuff. I think it's still sealed actually. Oof.
Oh, that'd be kind of a cool collector's item.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But
and speaking of PUBG, sorry, go ahead.
And I was gonna just say, I'm also happy like they're just going free to play. Finally, they should have done it also, a while back. But yeah, it's nice to going with this model now. They're gonna bring in a ton of new people who've never tried this game out. And
I feel like they should give me like a free couple months of their Game Pass because I paid for the actual freaking game when it was in beta, and it was still so glitchy and crappy.
Yeah, let me look back and like seeing what they're gonna do for us who actually bought the game, because I was reading through the article and everything, and they did say that they're not gonna like forget their paid players. Like they're gonna give us something.
I need to log in and see, but that's kind of where we're going to head next. Is before the podcast began, we talked about it, and I think we're going to stream as a team PUBG. So Have You Nerd About It does gaming.
Heck yeah. Going back, we're going to be revisiting good old PUBG. But yeah, like before we started recording the podcast, I was like looking at PUBG streams, and PUBG actually got a bit of a makeover in terms of like graphics since like the last time we played. So definitely the game has definitely been receiving lots of updates even while we haven't been playing it. So it's nice to see kind of new blood pouring into the game and kind of reigniting that community.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't same treatment as the culling.
Oh God, don't remind me. The culling is a painful memory. So much potential, and then they just fumbled it.
Yeah, why, dumbasses?
All right, so let's see. The next big news. This was like the big bombshell announcement. Take-Two buying Zynga, the creators of GTA and Red Dead and the 2K series, buying a mobile publisher and developer.
I was gonna say, Zynga created Grand Theft Auto? The free-to-play version, right?
Yeah. But yeah, like Take-Two finally, I guess, taking a big plunge into mobile gaming, which honestly, it doesn't surprise me now, like looking back, because like all the big publishers like Activision, they have a presence in mobile. EA has a big presence in mobile. Take-Two was like the one like odd child in the bunch. So the acquisition of Zynga actually kind of makes sense when you look at their competitors.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I could care less about Take-Two anymore. I just don't care. That buying Zynga, sure, it's big news. I'm like, holy cow, Zynga got bought out. Have they always been an independent studio? Because I thought EA bought them before.
I'm pretty sure Zynga was always like independent.
Okay, for some reason, I remember that EA bought Zynga at one point, and maybe my memory is just like being stupid, but but yeah, Take-Two buying Zynga, cool.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Will we see like GTA Online as like a mobile version? I mean, with how successful GTA Online is, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to like go with a mobile version of the game of some sort.
Yeah, like even maybe a companion app that would help you collect all your money, do some mission. Probably like a Pokemon Go kind of thing.
Yeah, like because like GTA when it launched, it did have like a companion mobile app, but it kind of sucked ass. Like it wasn't very useful. So who knows? Maybe with Zynga now, who know how to make like mobile games and whatnot, they might actually create something cool for GTA Online, or they might just save it for GTA 6. Who knows? I mean, this is a new acquisition, so it's gonna take a while before we really see anything come out of this.
GTA 6, that's a myth.
Well, they're working on it supposedly, but it's still gonna be years before we see anything.
Let's make bets, okay, guys. What's coming out first? Metroid Prime 4, GTA 6, or Half-Life 3?
I will take the bet of I think Half-Life 3 would probably come out way before GTA 6, but Metroid Prime 4, it would go Metroid Prime 4, Half-Life 3, then GTA 6. Because Valve can count to 3 eventually. There's still
like 20 years.
Yeah. But they released Half-Life Alyx. That was something at least. I mean, it obviously means that they're interested in the IP still.
I'm excited for Crystalis too.
Well, there you go.
Nobody knows about that, but I'm making.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but that's cool. I'll agree. Whatever. Cool.
Crystalis is an original Nintendo game that I love. That
I
don't know why they didn't make another one of it because it's so good. It's like Zelda, very much like Zelda, but really good.
I remember I was on SNES the majority of my time, so.
Oh, you're one of them young boys.
Oh, dude.
Back in the day when gaming was real.
I'm 30 right now, so there you go.
All right, moving on. Unless you guys got something else on that.
No, I don't got anything else on that. But little news here: Assassin's Creed Ezio collection's coming to Switch. Pretty excited, actually. I mean, sure, I don't play Assassin's Creed very much, but it's still cool to see Ubisoft still interested in the Switch, and they're releasing the entire Ezio collection on it. Sad day though is that only one game will be on the cartridge. That means all the rest of them you have to download, and it's going to be a hefty 35 gig download.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Yep, that's going to eat up quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Micro SD card. So, yeah. A little bit of small news right there. Anybody else is interested?
But yeah,
I'm kind of over Assassin's Creed personally.
It's $40.
No,
I know. I played the first one. I was like, sweet. I played the second one. I was like, oh, so it's just the same game.
Yeah.
I spent way too much time getting every little secret in that game, and then the second time I was like, no.
Oh yeah. I mean, like Ubisoft games are like notorious for like filling their maps and worlds with like these little like random fetch quests and like, oh, go open this chest, go collect this piece of paper, and like most of it doesn't really add up to anything significant.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Watch Dogs like their first game they did that whole cookie cutter BS open world everything? Let's, just plant a bunch of just stupid things within the entire world just to make it seem like it's a long game.
Well, the thing with Watch Dogs was that's what they said it was going to be, and then there wasn't nearly as much as they said there was going to be, and it was the story was pretty linear, and it was supposed to be like more open world.
Mm-hmm.
But what I loved about Watch Dogs was the online multiplayer was so fun because you could jump into someone's game and your goal was to hack them, and they had no idea if you were in their game or not. Like, you just didn't know. You're just playing along, and then all of a sudden you get like this alert, like online players hacking you, and you have like 60 seconds to find them and kill them. Otherwise you die essentially or something. I can't remember if you died or what happened, but like it was hard because you had no idea who they were, like just random civilians walking around and you just didn't know.
I will say that was definitely really cool, but I'm just gonna flat out say it right now. Watch Dogs sucked.
Yeah, the first
It did.
one was
the
not
only
very
thing I liked
fun.
was the online play.
Yeah, the online was good.
Watch Dogs 2 was solid. Like I really enjoyed that one, but yeah, the first Watch Dogs was rough.
I never played the second one because of the first one.
The second one did not look good whatsoever.
I was also one of 5 people playing it on the Wii U, so we didn't get the second one.
Hey, the Wii U was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was such an awesome system. If they didn't call it Wii U, it would have been way more successful.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
Because, like, seriously, the fact that I could play majority of Wii U games on just the controller alone was like a big win.
Oh, there's so many advantages to that controller. The 5-player games where you play like Luigi's Ghost or like Luigi's Mansion. Player 5's, the ghost trying to kill everybody. There's so many great things going on in that game or in that console.
Heck yeah. The only thing that I think sucked is that I don't think you could actually replace the Wii U tablet controller.
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
It's possible. They're just you couldn't buy one. You could order one from like eBay, like you used one, but you couldn't buy one directly from Nintendo. And you could
okay, that's
resync it to your Wii U, but you couldn't just go to the store and buy one, which people hated.
I mean, that was a huge pain in the ass because I mean, it's like if that thing died, then like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Yep. All right. I think that's it for gaming. Well, I was thinking because we have like the top 50 anticipated games. I was thinking, do you guys have like a top 3 for you this year? Not on what games are you looking forward to this year? Maybe just let's do top 3.
Oh man.
I can start if you would like.
Yeah, you go first because I need to I have it written down somewhere. I need to find it.
I have to process. What? Process this. Jeez.
I'm gonna go. Okay, so obviously I have 5 written down. So while you guys are processing, I'll just do my 5. Obviously, Breath of the Wild 2. It's gonna be amazing. Pokimane Arceus, I'm excited about. I haven't gamed in a while, so I'm excited to see that one coming out soon. Splatoon 3. I love the Splatoon series. If you guys haven't played them, they're so fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then my 2 kind of less popular ones probably is going to be Advance Wars Reboot Camp, which is a remake of the first 2 Advance Wars games that were on the Game Boy Advance. And those games are so fun. I love them. I'm excited. And then an indie game coming out is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I cannot wait. It better be freaking coming to the Switch. I'm going to be pissed.
It'd be dumb if it didn't release on Switch.
Yeah, it'd be dumb. All right. You guys ready or no?
This is a tough one, but I can go ahead and go next here. So, one game that I am definitely looking forward to is the Life is Strange Remaster Collection. I can't wait to pick that up. I'll probably pick it up on my PS5 just because I can. Another one is Kirby and the Forgotten Land coming out for the Switch. I love my Kirby games. And probably my top number 1 game that's coming out is Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah, that one's going to be so good.
I am a huge fan of the Stalker games. I mean, I've been playing it since Shadow of Chernobyl. And, oh my gosh, like, I haven't touched Clear Sky yet, but even Call of Pripyat is phenomenal. Like, holy cow. Sure, soccer games have had their issues, but Stalker 2 just looks freaking amazing. I'm so glad Microsoft picked it up and said, keep going.
Hell yeah.
What do you got?
See. All right, so on my list is probably Horizon Forbidden West because I really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. Fantastic game, so definitely excited for this one. We'll see. Hopefully Starfield, if that comes out this year. I don't know. That one might get pushed to next year, but that's definitely a game high on my list because Bethesda, even though they've been kind of quiet about it. Like, there's a lot of like hype building around this game. Like, the fact that it's sci-fi themed is like super exciting for me. And then probably the number one game I'm most excited for this year is Lost Ark. It is a Korean like RPG, like MMO, like Diablo-esque style, that's finally getting released in the West. Like, it's been available in Korea and like in the Russian market for like the last couple of years now, so it's finally coming to Europe and North America, and I am super excited for this game. I will definitely be glued to my chair and shitting in a bucket while playing this game. So that's how excited I am for this.
You got a shit bucket?
I got a shit bucket ready for Lost Ark, so I'm gonna be no-lifing that game.
Good. Something that I did not realize. I'm just gonna throw it out here real quick. House of the Dead remake?
Oh yeah. That one, yeah, slipped kind of under my radar, but yeah, that's a surprise title.
Yeah. I want it. It's on Switch. All right.
Very good. Okay, let's move. I think that's it for gaming. Should we move to tech? There's not much in tech.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about the AMD stuff and some NVIDIA stuff, so we can kind of skip that. I guess we can kind of go just through the movie section, what everyone's been watching lately, and kind of go through that real quick, since we are also running short on time.
I do want to talk about Sony's new car.
Yes, because I know, like, was it like 2 years ago, like they showed off like the concept car, but I guess like
so last year they announced a car,
mm-hmm.
and then this year they announced an SUV.
Oh.
But they're coming. They're working on it. Like, so the car's been in testing. It's been on road tests and stuff, and they're getting ready for production. So like these are supposed to happen. Their ranges are going to be, so they're all electric cars, 751 miles to them, all-wheel drive, and a 0 to 60 time in 4 seconds. So
that's
could
cool.
be a really solid car to get. And they look, well, I like the look of the car, not so much the SUV personally, but the car looks pretty solid. It kind of looks like a Tesla and a Porsche. Gosh, what's the Porsche Pan America kind of mixed together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I remember when I did see like the initial like Sony car, like it was actually like really surprised by how well it was designed. I'm like, damn, like Sony designed this. I'm like, cool. I'm excited.
I don't know. Sony's always been really good at designing things.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree with that.
I don't know. Like,
I'm like, that might be the car I get, when I get rich.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not excited for electric cars, personally, just because, they're really expensive for one. Like I have a perfectly good working gas powered car. Gets me everywhere. It wasn't that expensive. It cost me under $5,000.
I liked gas powered cars until I drove an electric, and I was kind of like,
I don't know, like I don't want to worry about charging my car or anything, like because I can go to a gas station and then spend like a few minutes at a gas station. Like I don't want to wait, a few hours for my car to charge up. And one thing that I'm so
that's what's cool about this one is 751 miles. That's bigger than most gas tanks will get you. So if you're doing a long road trip, and they charge in like 15 minutes now.
That's nice. But like anything, batteries will deteriorate, and typically the battery itself is more expensive than the car to actually replace.
That was the other thing they said about this one, is they figured out a cheaper way to make longer lasting, more power efficient, smaller, less weight batteries. So
that's good.
We'll
I'm glad they're working on the tech. Eventually, once it becomes a lot more affordable, and obviously 751 miles, that's great. But right now, to me, for me though, just for me, it's not worth it. Like I don't want to pay $65,000 on a brand new battery operated car. And
yeah, I mean, this stuff is still definitely going to take time to develop. Like most people will still like benefit just from a regular car, but like the electric cars have like the benefit of the innovation curve. Like they still have so much to like improve on, and like this tech can get better, while like gas powered engines are kind of like at their peak. So like I don't know, in like 10 years maybe we'll see a lot more of this, but for right now it's more like really more of an expensive just item, like more luxury item, I guess, however you want to spin it. But we just have to kind of wait it out with this. But it's still cool stuff, and I'm glad they're kind of experimenting and working on it.
Oh yeah,
It'd be win-win, I think.
Like, I'm no engineer, but riddle me this: how come we haven't seen an electric car where, while the car is in motion, charging the battery at the same time?
I mean, they kind of
good
already
question.
do from
Yeah.
like the brakes.
Yeah,
But
so a lot
it's
of them
not
have
as
brake
efficient.
charging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of Teslas and stuff, when you hit your brakes, it redirects that energy. That you can't charge it as it rolls because you're using the force of the battery to make it roll. Now there are some cars looking at I think it's Toyota doing a solar panel roof that helps charge it. But I mean, it's not going to be super charging, but it's going to still like help boost the charging at the same time as well. So they're looking at more options to kind of keep them self-charging, but that tech's slowly that stuff's way behind like the overall tech.
I guess I just think of it as a way of like, the alternator charging your car battery while the car's in motion.
Yeah, but the difference is that the gasoline is using its power to move the car, and it rotates and charges the battery. Whereas in electric, it's using the battery power to charge it.
Right, I totally get that. And I guess in some ways there should be like a battery reserve that is in return charging the battery as it's going, and then it can also charge that battery up. It would be a clusterfuck, but anyway,
I think there's ways, and I think we're going to see a ton of improvement on it soon. So I'm excited.
Like we do with anything. But speaking of cars, actually, I'm really happy with this. Is that Toyota is actually wanting to start a program where they're able to refurbish cars like you do with cell phones. So they think that you can get at least 3 refurbished revisions with that one car. I'm actually really happy with that. Instead of just taking the cars and just putting them off into a landfill and everything, they can go ahead and keep that one car going.
Yeah, that's definitely a good approach. I like it.
Yeah, nice work on Toyota for that one. And I mean, I'm not the biggest Toyota fan. I'm a Ford guy. I know, unpopular opinion. Go ahead and send in your angry messages. Found on road dead. Jeez, haven't heard that one before, right? Fix and repair daily. Haven't heard that one. Funny enough, though, every time I see on the side of the road, I see more Dodges and Chevys on the side of the road versus the Ford.
That's why you don't hear people arguing about Dodge and Chevy. They just don't say anything because they know.
They know. They know.
They know what they're driving.
Yep.
All right, let's talk movies and TV. Who wants to start?
I guess I'll go ahead and start this one.
Go ahead.
Bob's Burgers movie. I got a new trailer. I mean, if you're a big fan of the show, there's a movie coming out. And watching the trailer, looks funny, looks great, looks like Bob's Burgers. One thing I'll go ahead and say is that I remember when the Simpsons movie was coming out, I got really excited for it. I watched that movie. And honestly, I wasn't that impressed with it. It didn't feel right. It was like, it was all right. Maybe I should have watched it the day it came out. I watched it many years later with my wife, but we were watching The Simpsons and we love the show. And then we decided, hey, look, the movie. We can watch it free on Netflix or whatever. It just wasn't that great. I don't know. I felt like they just slapped together a bunch of things and called it a day, basically. But I'm hoping that Bob's Burgers gets a really good movie. So it's coming out. Go watch it when it's available in theaters.
Hell yeah.
What about you guys? What are you watching?
I mean, for me, I've basically just kind of been playing catch up with like a lot of shows that came out like a year or two ago. Like, so last week I talked about watching The Witcher season 2, and then I decided to watch The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf, which is an animated Witcher movie that's also on Netflix. That kind of is basically like the backstory of Vesemir, which is one of the characters in the show. But it's basically like Witcher the anime, and it's super cool. Like, it's super gory. It's awesome. It's a good watch. So definitely like if you're suffering from Witcher withdrawals, check that one out because it's a good one. And also like the new like Witcher Blood Origin, which is like a prequel to the Witcher main Netflix show, is also coming out later this year. So there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff for Witcher fans on Netflix. And then the other show that I finally watched was The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, which is the show about the girl. She's like a chess prodigy, and she like kind of goes off and starts like competing in tournaments and like is a giant like giga brain for chess. And it's actually a really good show. I watched it all like in one night, all 7 episodes. I was like glued to it. But if you haven't seen it, it's definitely a very cool one.
I'll have to put that one on my list. What else you got? Anything, or is it my turn?
Yeah, that's really all for me. It's just watching the Witcher anime and Queen's Gambit, but yeah, still trying to catch up on a lot of the hyped Netflix shows.
So I'm going to start mine off with a joke. Okay. So, do you guys know what a cigarette and a hamster have in common?
No.
I know this joke, but yeah.
They're both harmless until you put them in your mouth and light them on fire.
Why would you put a hamster in your mouth and light it on fire? I'm curious to know. Is this firsthand experience?
Yes. No. So sorry, I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife the other day, and that was in the movie, and I haven't laughed out loud that hard during a movie in a long time because it was just so random out of the blue. I was not expecting that, and I thought it was one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard.
Beautiful.
But anyways, Ghostbusters Afterlife, I really liked it. Overall, I hear it's. I've heard a lot of back and forth on it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I'll probably watch it again soon.
I mean, obviously, it's got to be better than the last Ghostbusters film.
Unpopular opinion, I really like the last Ghostbuster films.
Really?
Chris Hemsworth's character was so funny.
He stole the
whole movie. I get it. He stole the whole movie, but that character was hilarious.
The only reason I'd watch it is because of Melissa McCarthy. I like watching her. She's a great actor, great actress.
I mean, I thought everyone did a good job, but Chris Hemsworth stole that movie for me. I was just not expecting him to be the comic relief like that. So, other shows I'm watching, I'm way behind, and I finished The Boys. Have you guys ever watched The Boys before?
No. Is it about testicles?
Yes. No. So The Boys is about the Justice League, except for if it was more realistic, and like they're just it's so dark and gory. It's like imagine The Witcher meets the Justice League, kind of a thing. There's rape in it. There's murder. There's
that's not
killing
cool.
people.
The last thing you said was not cool.
I'm sorry. I'm just telling you what's in it. Like how bad the show is. Like I mean, it's amazing. It's crazy, good.
Making me want to watch it.
It's a very very rough version of the Justice League, and just they don't give a they don't care.
Yeah, like
they're
remember,
superheroes.
I remember like when the show was being advertised, like for like season 1 or season 2, maybe it was coming out at the time. But like it was like all over on Twitch, and like I remember seeing the trailer, and I was like, "Yo, this looks wild."
Dude, it's so good. It is so good. Season 3 is coming out in June, so I'm super excited about that. I'm glad I watched season 1 when it first came out, and I loved it, and then I didn't subscribe to Prime anymore, so I never watched season 2. But I recently rewatched 1 and 2, and I was like, "Oh, this show's so good."
Yeah, this show's definitely on my list once I like catch up on everything. But yeah, this show definitely looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so good. I started watching The Witcher upon Darko's request last week. I'm having a hard time with it. I just don't think I'm a fantasy guy. I don't know. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with the show. I don't hate it. It's just I don't know. Swords and magic. It's like Lord of the Rings meets Harry Potter meets Terminator is what The Witcher is.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Basically, like if you're like like fantasy and like medieval stuff is like my favorite genre, and like in TV and in gaming. So that's why like I'm hooked on the show. But like yeah, if that's like not your thing, then The Witcher is not gonna be like a show you're like obsessed with like I am.
I mean, it's okay. I'm struggling to pay attention, but I'm gonna keep pushing through it. So they announced the Halo TV show and they released a trailer for it.
And they announced that like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think they said it was 2013 when it got announced. Is what something is either 2012 or like 2013. So it got announced a decade ago, but they finally it's close. It's supposed to come out this year, but the visuals on it look really good. I'm curious on what they're going to do as far as storyline goes. I know it has Master Chief in it, and it has some other Spartans. So I don't know timeline where it's at and everything, but could be interesting. Could be just completely terrible. We'll see soon, though.
I mean, things have gotten a lot better from like video game to movie adaptation or TV show adaptation. I mean, it's gotten better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for sure.
There was
obviously.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, obviously, the best one, we all know was GoldenEye to GoldenEye 64. I mean, that was the best, movie to video game adaptation. And Max Payne, it's kind of funny. The first time I watched it, I was actually like, all right, this is not bad,
See, but they have an easier time moving from movie to game, where moving from game to movie has been the biggest struggle.
Right. I get it.
But we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of Halo lore out there, so there's definitely a lot of info to go off of.
The books are out there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
True.
Which I think it's following one of the book series, if I remember right, but I could be wrong.
I love the book series. The book series is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had a hard time putting them.
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I was just saying I had a hard time putting the books down. Like literally, I'm not much of a book nerd, but I actually had a hard time putting these down. Go ahead, Darko.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, I have pretty high hopes for this Halo show, and I also don't think it's going to be any worse than the Assassin's Creed movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but dear God, that might have been one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I'm not touching that one.
I haven't seen it.
Hey, remember?
I should watch it.
Ahead. Anybody remember Hitman the movie?
I recently rewatched it on Twitch on a channel that I will not mention because I stumbled upon it, but...
How about, come on, this is the best one, Postal the movie.
A classic.
Yeah, absolute classic.
Absolute crazy Uwe Ball production.
Hey, I'm just going to say this because it's not really a video game turned into a movie, but kind of is. It's a book turned into it, but it's about video games. Ready Player One is probably my favorite movie of all time, and it's just
that movie is awesome.
Haven't watched it.
You haven't watched Ready Player One? You need to watch that movie immediately, Josh. You will love that movie more than anything.
Just to trigger everybody, because it's so trigger worthy.
Have you really not seen it?
No, I really haven't actually seen it. I'll watch it eventually.
Dude, Darko, would Josh not just love this movie?
I think so, yeah. It's definitely a good one. I mean, we're all gamers. We're just giant nerds. So, that movie was, made for us.
Yeah. Especially where you're a retro collector. You're going to get so many more references and stuff.
I'll probably sit there and just be like, hey, I know that. I know that. I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, it's a million times more than Wreck-It Ralph, though, with Easter eggs and stuff like that, though.
Cool.
It makes Wreck-It Ralph look like nothing when it comes to the video game world.
I mean, hey, movie night someday.
Hell yeah.
Seriously, I would put that on your priority this week.
Oh, dude, I've got so much shit this week.
I don't care. Push it all aside.
I can't push it aside.
Quit your job. Watch a movie.
Wow. Yeah, my boss will love me for that one.
You tell him what movie, and he's going to be like, I got you.
He's like, take the whole week off. You'll still get paid. You just got to watch that movie.
I when that movie came out on Blu-ray, I literally just put it in my Blu-ray player and put it on repeat for 5 or 6 days straight.
Oh, shit.
Oh my gosh.
It is so good. I can literally watch that movie at any time. That and Pacific Rim are my two, if it's I don't know what else to watch, I just put those on. And they're so good. I could just watch a million times.
Oh my gosh, I don't even think I want to say what movie I used to watch like all the time.
Let me guess. Bambi, Cinderella,
No,
Little Mermaid.
no. You know what? This will be a fun little thing. You can try and guess which movie I used to watch all the time.
You have to give us at least a hint.
No, I'm not going to give you a hint. It'll be too much fun. Just start naming off movies. I don't care.
How old is this movie?
97. There,
97.
that's the only hint.
Aladdin.
No.
Terminator 2.
Great movie. But no.
Predators.
It's too much fun.
I mean, we can spend like hours not even going through like half the movies.
You know what? How many episodes of this podcast will we go through before any of you guess what movie?
3.
3.
That's not even 97.
Oh, 97.
Yeah, 1997.
Batman and Robin.
No.
Nothing to lose.
Oh,
The
God.
This episode is going to go on forever. This is only episode 2.
Jungle to Jungle.
Great movie, but no.
Ooh, Beverly Hills Ninja.
Beverly Hills Ninja? No.
Beverly
You
Hills
never-
Cop.
I've heard of it. The first
Okay.
name was Beverly Hills.
Vegas Vacation.
No.
Liar.
Great
Okay,
movie.
we're gonna.
All right,
Okay,
we're ending this here. Like, all right. Do we just want to end it on the fun topic from last week, the superpower thing?
How long have we been going for?
I mean, we're probably like coming close to maybe like 10 minutes over, like hour and 40 minutes now.
I'd say we can save it for another time.
Okay.
Dun,
yeah.
dun.
We have so much to talk about.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of topics to go through this episode, so we definitely have to save some stuff for next week. But yeah, we're gonna push again our superpower conversation until episode 3.
Be excited.
Be excited. Also, we're gonna push the because we have on here like new movies and TV shows coming out this year, so we can discuss more about that in next week's episode. But yeah, overall, good stuff this week. We covered a lot again.
Yeah, we did. Well, thank you for joining us, guys. Check out our social medias. The Serb King is Mr. Darko. Josh at Josh Tendo, sorry. And me, the Ghost Pepper on all social medias. So
Hey, actually, I'm going to correct you right there. It's Josh
sorry.
TV.
Tendo TV. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you got to get it right. You know?
I know, I've messed it up. I knew I was like, I'm going to mess it up.
Catch us next week as Jeff still tries to guess what movie I used to watch from.
We're not leaving Discord until I guess. So
And now,
And if to those that
I know what
listen
it
in,
is.
if you want to try and join in on this guessing game, please write in the comments. Send us a tweet on our socials, and we'll see who nails this movie title.
I already know what it is. I see it. It's Ernest Goes to Africa.
no,
No, don't even deny it. That's what it is, no matter what.
no.
But yeah, all right, we're gonna wrap it up here. If for those of you listening on YouTube, if you can drop a like if you've watched this far, and then write Geralt
I was
in
gonna
the
say dog
comments.
shit.
Dog shit. No, write Geralt in the comments if you reach this point, and then drop a like if you enjoy the show. If you're listening on the audio platforms, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. And we'll be back next week with more exciting topics and lots of more things to discuss. But yeah, overall successful week, and that's gonna be it from us this week. And we'll see you legends next time. Peace.